what's one thing you think men get wrong about women?
Oh, that's such a good question. That men get wrong about women. I feel like a lot of guys just like kind of think they already know that kind of woman, or they know that woman already, and they don't. I think that when you obviously have a look at a beautiful woman, you may think there could be so many things that could come across a guy's head.
Sure.
But sometimes it always comes down to the personality factor, because that's how you're actually building a relationship with this person. So I think sometimes with what guys say, sometimes of maybe their approach, they can kind of put a woman off a little bit.
Sure.
In a way that they already feel like you've judged me before you kind of met me.
I understand that.
You know?
What do you think guys judge like a woman on that you're referring to? What do you think they've judged her on?
I would normally say, always a difficult one. I would normally say, obviously, the first thing that you look at is a person's actual appearance. Aesthetic. So it completely depends on the person, but I think, obviously, and it also depends on the intention too. But I don't know. I feel like everyone's very different, so it's very difficult to kind of like.
So do you think guys look at a girl and go, oh, if she's really attractive, he has to approach her in this kind of way? So it's like, oh, she's really attractive, so I have to throw money at her. Is it, oh, okay, well, she's like, she's out here like dancing on the pole, so that means she's looking for fun, so I'm going to approach her that way? Like, what is it? Is it that? I
think so, like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So so let me ask you a question. I'm not saying it's right. Do you think there could be an influence, or the energy that we put out can attract the kind of energy we receive?
Yeah.
Because, let me ask you, do you think a guy would approach a girl who's like riding on a pole the same way he would approach a woman who's reading in the park?
No.
Why do you think no?
Oh, wait, no. I mean, like, it's not going to be treated the same.
No, exactly.
100%.
Why do you think it would be different?
I feel like, especially in environment.
Yep, that's true.
The environment that you're in definitely depends on your approach to somebody. I also feel like, I think it's just maybe the environment, really. Because you've got other people, like, have you got people around or have you not? Have you got, influential things around you, so like alcohol, or are you smoking to make your approach a bit like whoa.
Yeah.
Or like in the park, are you drinking a coffee and you're kind of like buzzing right now, and then you're seeing this lovely hi,
that's a good point.
Let me just introduce myself.
Maybe that's a bad example. Let's stick with the club scenario. You have a girl who is twerking and grinding on a pole, and you have another girl who's just like enjoying the music, sipping her drink. Do you think guys are going to approach the same way in that environment?
No.
Okay, why not?
I just feel like guys just like what they kind of see, and whatever they like what they see is how they're going to go. Do you get it? If someone's being quiet and someone's being like not really around but around, it's kind of a safe space for a guy to go into, like a comfortable thing. Oh, hi, you all right there? Da-da-da. Like, why are you sat alone? Like, oh, would you want a drink? Or da-da-da. Going up to a stripper, you're like, no, probably not like that. It depends on you and how drunk. But
I agree. But so I'm not saying that this is an excuse for a guy to approach any woman any kind of way, regardless of what she's doing. But we have to be real and be honest that the energy that one woman is giving off is going to attract that kind of energy compared to the other one. Because you're right, a guy will, depending how a woman A, presents herself to the world, and B, the energy that she carries, that is going to help him. Because the thing is, for a guy to get your interest, for a guy to get you on a date, he has to figure out a lot about you very, very, very quickly. He has to figure out...
Not if he's lazy.
Well, I mean, if he's lazy, I just assume either he wouldn't even make the effort, right? He wouldn't make the effort, or like he wouldn't even care. He just approached like any other girl. But he has to understand, at least to some degree, what you like, what you find attractive, and what does it look like when you are showing interest, and maybe even what kind of guy that you're looking for. And so guys will see how you operate in terms of how you are with your friends, how you are when you're out. If he sees you, he will observe you in the environment to see, okay, what's going to work best with this kind of girl. So depending on how you are can influence how a guy may choose to approach you.
However,
but some guys just approach girls the same way.
Well, that's the thing. But then also, if you go up to a stripper and you've thought that she's like this and like that, where realistically she's just there, she's getting her money, she don't fuck with the guys there. That's another. She'll show you that. She'll show you and let you know that she's just about her money and her job. She doesn't need to talk to you. You have those women like that where you think, oh, just because she's a stripper, I'm going to get lucky tonight. Like, or if I really chat her up. But some girls are out here like not playing around like that.
I understand that. And that can definitely be true. But for guys, it's like the likelihood of it happening with her is more likely than a girl who's not stripping.
But then that's also their job.
Okay, but she chose to enter that job though. She didn't have to choose that. She didn't have to choose that.
To be fair, I get it. But then also they know that they're beautiful and they know that they can make that money.
Okay, but there are so many women who are gorgeous, who know they're gorgeous, who would never dream of becoming a stripper. And those are the kind of women that men would be like, that's the kind of woman that I want my daughter to be.
I hear it, but at the same time, when it comes to work and job and things like that, especially in the female industries, I think like everyone has their judgments on it. But if you can make money from it, regardless of what other people are thinking of you, that's all that really matters. Though.
So here's the thing. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be able to do that. But what I'm saying is there's choices and trade-offs to everything. If you choose that, okay, I'm going to be the kind of person that's going to sell my body for money. The truth is, if you're a gorgeous woman, you can earn a lot of money very quickly. And it's actually, you might work hard, but it's not hard work. Okay?
Makes sense, yeah.
Because you could be like, oh, you can have a stripper who earns the same salary as a lawyer who's a partner at one of the best law firms. But in terms of what it took for them to get there are leagues and mountains apart. All she had to do was shake her booty. He or she had to study, had to become the best in their class, get a first, go to good uni, and then climb the ladder to then be earning that. That's why that is respected as a profession. And with all due respect, being a stripper and stuff, it's not as respected as that. We have to be real. Now, here's the thing. There's pros and cons. You can earn that money very quickly and you don't have to work for that.
But it's also the circumstances of where you come from.
I understand that. And that is true. Some people's circumstances are dire. But if I'm being honest, considering there's way more support for women than there are for men, right? And men can't be out here.
Do you think so?
There's 30 times more homeless shelters for women than there are for men. In terms of benefits, women are supplied more benefits, but I think that's actually because, generally speaking, women tend to have custody of children. There's way more level.
Shit as well.
Yeah, sure, of course. There's more domestic shelters for women than there are for men. So in terms of the amount of support in society for women, it's leagues for what there is for men. So for a woman to get to a point that she's going to strip for money and a man can't even do that, it's like she could choose to go work at McDonald's, but maybe she didn't want to do it because it was minimum wage. She could choose to go work at Halfords, but maybe she didn't want to do it because she doesn't want to be standing at a counter, where she's like, hey, look, I can dance to good music. All I have to do is be half naked and I can earn 200, 300, 400 pounds a night. I might do that. I get the attraction, but it's a choice.
But then some guys as well, some guys like that. Some guys would wife a stripper. You know what I mean?
Sure, but
it's true.
I'd have my own opinions about that kind of man.
I mean, I get it. No, I do get it, because I also feel like it does come from...
if my son married a stripper, I'd be disappointed.
I see it, but she'd probably be getting him lubes.
Maybe. Hey, listen, to be fair, as long as he's happy and he knows the risks that come with that, you do you. What's something else you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about boundaries, like I think from the get-go, because also when you have, if you're talking to someone, so say over Instagram or over a dating app, like you kind of go in kind of knowing what you want, or either you don't know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I think setting boundaries regardless of knowing or not knowing is always something kind of important. And especially in the industry that I'm around, as it's a very male dominated, a lot of people a lot of the female artists would understand when they're in that kind of environment.
Mm-hmm.
Rejection actually is another thing I want to talk about. But,
Sure. So we say setting boundaries. Do you mean setting boundaries in your work or with the guy that you're dating?
Setting boundaries with the person that you're dating and / talking to, because I feel like if you're talking, you're dating, you've seen each other, and then you've done a deed, you can't, like, you need to let that person know that I'm either now your body.
Okay, I think I know what you're saying.
Or like, because I think personally for me, if that's happened, that's your body until the day that you say, listen, this ain't working out.
So basically, are you basically saying, in layman's terms, once you have sex with a guy, you're exclusive to him physically, and for you, you want him to be exclusive to you? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
With a deal.
With a deal?
With a deal?
What's the deal?
Freedom.
What do you mean?
As well. Like, I think I'm one of those. I'm one of those females that are like, I'll make a deal with you.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds really bad. Oh my god, I didn't take that out. That sounds awful.
No, that doesn't sound bad.
No, like
you can come to an agreement with him.
That's it.
You're welcome.
An agreement. That's it.
An agreement.
The fact that obviously if you
Get
know,
my lawyers look at the contract deal.
that's the worst thing. I'm a salesperson at heart, honestly.
That's so funny.
So I think it's always important to highlight that, okay, the exclusivity of sharing each other's bodies there. But, you know, if I'm not replying to you as fast as you want me to reply and you're chatting to someone else, I ain't got a problem with that. Let them take your time like that. But obviously when it comes to like meeting up in person and things like that, or, you know, that kind of social contract, what you've got, that is kind of like that thing only and nothing more. Always set a boundary. I think is always important. So you know what's going on. So
I agree. Communication to know where you're at is important, and boundaries are important. Flat out, I agree with you. If you're saying that when you start sleeping with a guy, you're like, look, if you want to talk, you can talk to another woman, but when it comes to the physical, it's just me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but you're not in a relationship, so it's not really that deep. It's not deep.
Okay, that's not deep for you because you don't want to sleep with other men. That's deep for him because, especially early on, a guy will still want to sleep with other women. So that's easy for you to have that. That's the same as, do you know what that'd be like? That'd be like him saying, hey, if you really want to, you can sleep with other guys, but you can't talk to any other guys. And it's like, you know full well, you're not A, you don't want to be sleeping with any other guy, and B, you're not going to sleep with a guy that you wouldn't even talk to. So it's a very convenient agreement that serves your imperative. I understand why you want it, but it only serves your imperative, doesn't serve his, because you don't want to sleep with other guys. So you're not making that compromise.
But then what if he's like, okay, hold on, okay, this could work. But then obviously...
Then good for you. Then you're on the same page.
But then what happens, like, you just get kind of like, oh, this isn't really it anymore.
If what the guy says that.
You both do. You kind of like part ways and it's easy.
So what, you date for a bit and then you decide it's not for you. That happens. That's okay. I think to ask, look, you can say to a guy, look, if I sleep with you, it means that I want us to be exclusive. If that's not you,
does that scare
that's
a guy? Is it spooky?
I think scare is the wrong word. I think it's a deal that most guys would not take. If you're like, from the moment we sleep together, you are sworn off other women, and he's like, I don't know if I like you for a relationship. I think that's a deal.
It's got to have some foundation to it, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, you know, some guys can be in a relationship with a girl within a month. Some guys, it takes them a few months to know if this is the kind of woman he wants to be with. And if we sleep together in week 3, right? But usually takes me a few months to know if this is the woman I want to commit to and invest my future in. You're basically saying from week 3, I have to be sworn off other women. Most guys aren't going to take that deal.
I got a question for you, actually.
Yeah.
How long would it take for you to sleep with a girl?
What do you mean?
Like,
I've
like,
go on.
How long would it take?
out.
Someone asked me this. No, this is why I'm asking you.
How long does it
someone
take for
asked
me to
this.
sleep with her?
How long would it take you to sleep with somebody?
As in,
I
what
said
do you
it
mean?
depends on the situation. And one of my friends said it would take months.
Okay, so how long would I say yes until I say yes,
Yeah.
or that she would say yes? That I would say yes?
Both, actually.
Okay, so I'm gonna bait myself out, but I'll be honest. I've slept with a girl within a couple of hours of meeting her. And I've slept with a girl
But then
in a couple
before
of months.
that, did you say to her, like, this is the rundown? Or like, were you just like chitter chatter?
No, we talked, but she was just on it. I'll just be honest. She was just on it.
And did you ever like mention that in the conversation?
What, prior? Like, oh, we're meeting up and we're going to hook up?
Yeah.
No.
So you kind of saw what happened, like just kind of went with the flow.
Yeah, so we matched on the app. We talked for like a few days. It was back and forth. And then the texting got quite flirty. And then she was like, no, at that day, I was like, oh, we could have hung out tonight. And she was like, well, I'm at a party, but I can see you after. I was like, okay, cool. Bet. I was like, I'll come pick you up. And then that's what happened.
I hear it. I mean, okay, she went to a party.
Yep.
Was she intoxicated?
No, because if she was, I would have not slept with her.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't do that.
That's quite interesting.
Because two reasons. One, for my own ego. I don't want her sleeping with me because she's drunk and be like, I wouldn't have done that. So that's just my own pride. But also 2, especially if that's the first time, I'm not trying to catch a case. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to catch a case.
I hear it.
Nope.
No, I hear it.
Like
But
if we're
interesting.
sleeping together when you're drunk, because I don't really drink. I'm not a big drinker. So I think in that sense, I know people can make reckless decisions where they're drunk, and that's okay. But then it's actually happened before where I was into a girl and I was fully down to like for something to happen that night. But then she got really drunk and I was like, I'd just rather not
thanks.
personally. So yeah.
Breath concrete kicking.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.